Hi everyone, welcome to Stephanie dCH Yoga. I'm Stephanie and today we have a flow to hopefully release back pain. I've got myself here a blanket that I've rolled up into a sort of bolster type shape. I encourage you to do the same or use a couple of pillows, whatever you have to hand, because we're then going to lie down with our knees resting on that bolster shape. So just pause the video, go grab that if you don't have it nearby. Once you're ready, we're going to just lie back, feel the ground, connecting with your back, with your arms, with your feet and legs and your head, feeling supported by yourself in that you took the time to do this and show yourself a bit of love. So we're keeping the knees bent here and for most of the practice because it helps to prevent any more issues in the lower back. Gives us a little bit more space to work with. So let's take our 3 parts breath here. I'm going to bring the breath, inhale into the belly, inhale into the ribs, finishing up in the chest, then exhale from the chest, the ribs, and then the belly. So again, inhaling into the abdomen, into the ribs, into the chest, and exhaling chest, ribs, belly. So think of this as filling up a glass with water from bottom to top and then pouring it back out top to bottom. If this is a new type of breathing for you and that feels like too much stress, don't worry, just try and do some belly breaths. Bringing that breath into the abdomen. One more round of breath, either that lovely 3-part breath or that belly breath. And then we're coming back to just a normal, natural breath, not making any effort to change it in any way. Sweet. So from here, bend the knees. You're going to just push your bolster out of the way, like I have just sort of kicked mine to the side. We'll use it again later. Make sure you're still on your back and then bring your knees up onto your chest. Give yourself a little hug. Tuck your chin. Let's then take the knees for little circles. So the knees stay together. Inhale, pushing them away and around. Exhale, squeezing them in. Taking them whichever way you like. Inhale, pushing them away and around. Exhale, pulling them back into the belly. Continue this with your own breath, or if the breath feels like too much to think about, just the movement is fine. Beautiful. Let's take it the other direction. The next time you squeeze the knees in, take it in the other direction. Inhaling, pushing the knees away from you. Exhale, rounding them back into the chest. Beautiful. So we're moving fairly slowly today. Let's then take one knee in each hand, widen the knees, and we're going to take knee circles again. If you can't reach your knees, you can hold underneath, like in the creases of your knees, on the backs of the thighs. We're going to take knee circles this time, so you're making 2 circles, so you're bringing the knees in together, inhaling them away, exhaling to bring them back in together, inhale, taking them away from each other. So you may feel this a little bit more deeply into the hips. Just noticing if one leg or one hip feels a little bit more stiff. Try and observe that without judgment. And if your back is really sore today, taking this really, really easy. Reverse your circles. So whilst this is a video for back pain, you still need to listen to your own body, because obviously I can't know how you're feeling. So if anything is hurting too intensely, please stop. Come out of the pose. Come to something that's comfortable. Let's bring that movement to a stop. Inhale, and then exhale, bring nose up towards the knees. Make yourself into a little ball. Rocking onto one side. Pause for a sec, and then we're going to come up to a seat. Now, again, nice to give ourselves some space here. So I'm using my blanket to lift the hips. So sitting on it hopefully helps you feel like you've got a bit more space in the hips. And then we're going to bring soles of the feet together, Baddha Konasana. Now, if your knees hurt here, please do prop them up with some pillows. Or, don't worry if your knees are not really, really far down towards the floor and they're right up by your armpits. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter at all. You're still getting that opening. All bodies are different. No judgment. Inhale, sit up tall. Beautiful. Let's exhale and fold over. Now, be really careful here if your back is sore. Make sure you use that belly button. If you pull that in, like towards the spine, it helps to engage your core and therefore protect your back a little bit. Sometimes we're sort of relying on our back muscles too much. Not using the core strains the back muscles. So later in this practice we will do a little bit of core work to strengthen that area up. But for now, just breathing in this lovely forward fold. Beautiful. When you're ready, inhale, rolling up. Excellent. We're going to make our way to a child's pose with our knees together. So, moving nice and gently today, no quick transitions. Make your way onto your knees, bringing your bum down towards your heels. Now, if your bum doesn't come anywhere near your heels and this is really sore in the knees, you can try putting that blanket or a pillow, like I am, between my calves and my bum. It just helps you get a bit more space. So I'm just removing it because for me it's not helpful, but it might be for you in your body. So then starting to walk the hands forward, bringing the forehead towards the ground. And then option to take the hands back towards your feet, completely rounding forwards. If your head doesn't reach the floor, that's okay. You may find that you've got a lot of compression between your legs and your tummy. If this is really uncomfortable, just come up, widen the knees a bit and come forward again. Breathing deeply, feeling the skin of the back stretch as you breathe into the torso. Maybe employing that 3-part breath if you are comfortable doing that. Try and keep those breaths deep, restorative. Beautiful. Looking forward, bring the hands in front of you. Rocking forward, we're going to come through all fours and to a very generously bent kneed down dog. So let's press away from the mat. Sit your bum back towards your heels. And on an exhale, we're going to start to lift the knees away from the floor. Now, keep your knees super duper bent. Even if you're just doing this video and you're not really experiencing any back pain, have a go, see how this feels. Beautiful. Have a little play here. What feels good? Maybe pedal the feet, but keep the knees bent. Breathe. Lovely. Now we're going to walk the hands back towards the feet. Keep the knees bent. We're going to hang out in a really bent kneed forward fold. So you may have noticed the theme of the day is bent knees. So we're just giving ourselves as much space as we can, being gentle on our backs and our hamstrings. Grab the elbows. You can rock a little bit, sway side to side. Don't forget to breathe. Lovely. Now we're going to widen the feet. I'm going to face you just so that you can see what my feet are doing. I'm going to widen your feet a little bit. Turning the toes out. And you're going to sink down, come to a Malasana squat. Now, this might feel like too much. So, you've got a few options. You can do this on a chair or a low stool. Or you can bring a pillow or a couple of books underneath your ankles like I have here, and it just helps to give you a bit more space and potentially lets you come down a bit further. If you've got any really serious knee problems though, I'd recommend that you do this sat on a couple of books or something with the knees bent. Lovely. So when you're there, bring your hands to prayer. Gently press your elbows to the insides of your thighs. Breathing here. And if your shape doesn't look exactly like mine, it doesn't matter as long as you're not in pain. Try and find the breath. Lovely. Bring your fingertips down. We're going to make our way back to our forward fold and then roll up to standing. Stretch it out. Make a little bit of a twinkle with the fingers, just shake it off. We're going to make our way to the top of the mat now. Keep your feet hip width apart. Inhale, bring the arms up high. Exhale, bent knees, forward fold. Inhale, lifts you halfway. Exhale and fold. We're going to bring the fingertips down and see if you can bring your right leg back. We're going to come to a low lunge. Fingertips are staying down. We look forwards. Back foot is tucked. Toes are tucked, rather. Sinking the hips down. Finding breath here. Finding some release, hopefully. Beautiful. Now you may want to walk your left foot a little bit further forward because you're then going to come back to a half split or runner's stretch. So you tip your weight back so that your weight is going down that right knee. We're going to keep that left leg really solid. Flex the toes towards your face. See if you can bring the little toe, the left little toe, as if it's going to come towards the outside of your left knee. Then we fold forwards over that leg. Now, you can keep that front leg really nice and bent. If you feel really tight, that's fine. And you can continue to make little movements and adjustments like I am with my toes. It's a subtle thing that you might not be able to see, but even just moving one toe makes a difference all the way back up into your hips often. So have a little play. And then we're going to rock forward, come back to that low lunge and step back into all fours. Let's take some cat-cows. Inhale, drop the belly, look forwards. Exhale, round the spine, drop the head. Inhale, drop the belly, look forwards. Exhale, round the back like a cat. One more round. Come back to a neutral spine. We're going to take the right leg out behind and then exhale, bring that foot through between your hands. We're coming to our low lunge on the other side. So I'm just shuffling my foot forwards, trying to find that shape. Tuck the back toes, sinking the hips low, keeping the arms low. So you can't see here particularly, but my hands are either side of my front foot. My right hand is on the outside of my right foot. Looking forwards, finding that breath. And then let's start to tip the weight back. Peel that right toes off the floor. Keep a bend in that front knee if you want. Harden that leg muscle, keep it strong at the front, the thighs. Flex the toes. Right little toe opens out towards your right outside knee, and then you fold forwards. Breathing here. Finding some release, hopefully. Remembering to listen to your body, and if it gets too much, gently come out. Otherwise, staying for a few more breaths. Beautiful. Let's look forward. Start to bring the weight forward, coming back to that low lunge. And then we'll plant the palms. Bring that leg back. We're going to come to a wide-legged child's pose. So toes come together, knees wide. Sit your bum down onto your heels. And again, you can put that blanket or pillow between your bum and your heels to lift if your knees find this hard, or if you just feel really tight. And walk the hands forward. Another way to use your blanket or pillow is to place this underneath your chest and head. That feels really good. So let's find our breath here. So your chest melts down towards the ground. Forehead melts into the ground. Feel the contact of the palms on the mat. Breathe, see if you can expand your rib cage sideways as you breathe in. Contracting as you breathe out. Beautiful, let's look forwards. Bring the hands back towards you. Lovely. We're going to make our way down to the back. So you're going to want your pillow later, so just put it nearby. Pillow or blanket, whatever you have. Now just a little bit of core strengthening. So we're going to bring, once we're down on our backs, bring your legs so that your shins are parallel to the ceiling like mine are. So you can imagine I've sat on a chair and fallen backwards, and I'm still in that chair position. So we're going to just tilt the hips. It's kind of hard to explain, but on an exhale, pull the belly button in, lift the tailbone away from the floor. Inhale, letting it relax. Exhale, pulling it in. Inhale, letting it relax. So you're just taking pulses using the lower abdomen. So the angle of your knees, like mine, should not be changing. You can use your hands pressing into the floor as a little bit of helps you to engage the core. Let's do one more here. And then you've got the option, either stay doing that if that feels like enough, or just extend that angle of the knees a bit more. So my feet are a little further away from me here, if you can see that. And I'm just taking that same action. Beautiful. So subtle, but often you end up feeling this quite a lot in the lower abdomen. Let's take one more, really strong. Beautiful, very nice. Bring the knees into the chest. Very good. Thumbs up I just gave you there. Let's take an inhale and then exhale, bring nose to knee. Rounding through the spine. Beautiful. Release back down. Widen the knees. Flex the feet, either grabbing the outside edges of the feet, or if you can't reach that, take your hands to the creases of your knees, so the backs of the thighs. We're taking a happy baby here. So once you've got that hand on foot or leg position, lengthen your tailbone along the floor as much as you can. Kick your feet into your hands, gently pull down on your feet with your hands, guiding the knees into the armpits. Breathe. Lovely, let's release. Take the arms out to the side, we're going to take some twists. Making sure your area is clear before you do that. Bring the knees onto the chest, big inhale, and then exhale, deliver the legs over to the left hand side. Look along your right arm. You can use the left arm to hold the legs in place. Both shoulder blades are on the floor. Now, twisting, if you've got a really sore lower back, be really, really careful. If it's really, really hurting, I would suggest that you don't twist. Just come to a semi-supine position, lying down with the legs bent. You can perhaps take very little rocks side to side, but don't come into a full twist. So if this feels okay, remaining where you are, taking a few more breaths. Lovely, and then let's release. Inhale, come through center. Exhale, over to the other side. Looking along that left arm, gently hold on to the knees with your right hand if you want to. I always find I need to do that, otherwise they kind of slip away from me. It allows me to completely relax the lower half of my body. Breathe here, nice full breaths. Great, inhale, come back through to center. Release the feet onto the floor, and we're going to come to a Shavasana, but we're going to use our blanket or pillow and end in the same way we began. So you bring your blanket underneath your knees. So again, if this is still uncomfortable, just keep the knees really bent, soles of the feet on the floor. So let's take our Shavasana here. Palms are up and arms are a little far away from the body. In fact, take as much space up as you have or as you like. Chin is tucked, allowing everything to go soft, relaxing through the belly. Again, feeling your back and your whole body, your whole being supported by the ground, by the earth. Giving yourself a huge piece of love, a huge internal hug for allowing yourself time to do this today. Now I'm pausing the video if you want to stay a little longer, otherwise let's make a little bit of movement with the fingers. Bend the knees, bring the soles of the feet to the ground. Just sway the knees very gently. Preparing to bring the knees onto the chest and then rock onto your left hand side. Pause for a second in a little fetal position. And then let's make our way up to a seat. And we'll sit back up on our bolster. Any comfortable position you like. Keep the eyes closed if you like as well. Just coming back to reality. Bring your hands to your heart area, just palms down onto the chest. Give yourself more love for taking the time to care for yourself, and then bring your hands to prayer position. Namaste. Thank you, and I hope you feel better. Have a lovely day.